First here tonight, lawyers are making their final cases in the subway chokehold trial.
The jury could begin its deliberations as soon as tomorrow. Today, it was a packed courtroom for the closing arguments. Alice Gaynor has been there every day of the trial, and she's live outside with what happened during closing arguments earlier today. Alice?
There was a delay of about an hour and a half this morning due to technical issues, but then the defense began its closings. This afternoon, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, for the first time this trial, was inside the courtroom listening in. What he missed this morning was defense attorneys questioning why his office brought these charges. They called this case a leap too far. Defense attorneys told the jury this was not a chokehold death, calling the charges against Daniel Penny a rush to judgment by the Manhattan DA's office, arguing media attention and protesters demanding an arrest seemed to be the motivation behind it. And they alleged it was the motivation behind the medical examiner's office issuing the cause of death, compression of the neck, chokehold, without having the results back from various testing like toxicology, anthropology, and histology. Defense attorney Stephen Razor asked jurors to imagine for a moment you're on that train too, in a confined space when an erratic, threatening Jordan Neely enters. He said Penny had something the others didn't, something unique to him, his training. Danny acted to save those people, not knowing whether Neely was armed or not. The defense called the hold a simple civilian restraint, that Penny's purpose was never to render him unconscious and never to try and hurt him. Telling them, Penny told police in a voluntary station house interview he was holding Neely until police arrived. It took the NYPD more than 7 minutes to get there and 20 minutes for EMS to arrive. Razor said when the medical examiner took the stand, she testified while watching video of the incident that she couldn't say how much pressure Penny was applying. He told the jury if the prosecution's own experts have doubt, why shouldn't you? They failed to prove their case, period. They said the death of Neely was unfortunate, tragic, but not foreseeable. Asking them, who would you want on the next train ride with you? The guy on the train with the earbuds minding his own business? Prosecutors began their closing by repeating what they said during their opening, that Penny had good intentions, but the defendant used way too much force for way too long in way too reckless of a manner, that Penny could easily have restrained him without choking him to death. Telling the jury, Penny continued to hold Neely even after the train pulled into the station and passengers got off. Holding someone for police does not justify the use of deadly force, they told the jury. And prosecutors are still giving their closing argument right now. They're expected to finish tomorrow morning. Then the judge will instruct the jury, and then they will begin their deliberations. Maurice and Christine.
And Alice, all eyes on the jury in a case like this, obviously. What did you notice about them, if anything?
Well, today they had their eyes focused on whichever attorney was speaking, and they were looking at the monitors if something was playing, and they were taking a lot of notes. You know, they've sat through this entire trial taking notes, even more note-taking today, and you have to give them a lot of credit. You know, during the trial, a lot of these autopsy photos are really difficult to look at. I didn't see anyone look away or flinch. They've had poker faces this entire trial.
Okay, Alice Gaynor at the courthouse, thank you so much. And Alice has been covering the trial, the Daniel Penny trial, since jury selection. You can see all of her reports by scanning the QR code on the screen, and she will be in the courtroom when a verdict is finally reached.